Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, this is Northtown News Magazine, and I'm Marty Levinson.
Hey, no you're not.
I object!
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, sweet home Chicago. 2 is 4.
Hi there, I'm the real Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. We're on the web at ntnm.org. Community policing, some good things are happening in the city right now, thanks to our new superintendent, caps24.org. And it is a pleasure. You know, there is suburban election season. We don't cover it as much as we do Chicago. And if you're a candidate, you know, you can depend, not school board. I don't want school board people, but if you're running for mayor, you know, or Archduke of Ferdinand or whatever it is that's important, you know, feel free to contact me. It is a pleasure to introduce you to a candidate for mayor in the village of Lincolnwood, which is right next door to me, and that is Barry Bass. How you doing?
Avi, pleased to meet you.
First of all, pleased to meet you too. Well, we're not technically meeting, and in full disclosure, I have to say that my nephew asked him to come on. My nephew married his niece, but that still doesn't mean he gets an easy time out of me. I treat everybody fairly and with equal disdain.
That's the way it should be. Thank you. Of course.
So why are you running for mayor?
Well, a number of reasons, Avi. One, I've been a lifelong resident of Lincolnwood, and I've seen the village in its finest days. And unfortunately, I would say over the last 10 years, there's been a decline. Residents are unhappy. I've been active. I'm a current trustee of the village. And there are a number of problems and deficiencies which need some remedy. And no one's been able to step up to the plate to take care of the job. And basically, I was asked by many residents, Barry, would you run for mayor? And I thought long and hard about it. It's a difficult job. It's a lot to do. But based on what I'm seeing and the neglect in many areas, I made the decision to run for mayor. I'm passionate about the village and about some of the things that need to be done, and I would say done rather quickly.
Is this a full-time job or?
This is a part-time job, although I would guess that it could be full-time dealing with the residents and people, which I enjoy. I'm a personable individual. I'm a people person. I've made my living dealing with people and facilitating deals, brokerage, investments, and I look forward to it. I look forward to working with residents. So.
The truth is, even though Lincolnwood is right next door here, it's actually, other than a little shopping, the most contact I had, the second best place to distribute Jewish Chicago, where I would always get rid of 600 papers, is no longer exists, and that was the Chinese restaurant at Pratt and Cicero, of all things.
Cow Cow.
Cow Cow, right.
Sure.
There were more Jews per square inch in that place. And it was unbelievable. And people, I couldn't bring enough papers. They got picked up so fast. And it surprised me from being so popular, they go out of business.
You know, it's a fine family-owned restaurant for many years. As you know the history, they were on Devon Avenue.
And you know what? I dealt specifically with the owner to leave the papers out. He was a gentleman and a half.
He's great, great people. And I'm happy to say, after that prime parcel of real estate being vacant for a number of years, proud to say that it's just been acquired by the Stefani family, the fine restaurateurs throughout Chicagoland and the suburbs, and they are looking forward to building a steakhouse, fine dining type of restaurant, and I think it's a big asset to the village of Lincolnwood.
How many people are in Lincolnwood?
There's approximately 14,500 current residents.
And about how many square miles are there?
It's a 3 square mile, very small, intimate village.
Yeah, no, I know it's not very large, and you know, depending on which side of the street you're on, I have to guess if I'm shopping in Lincolnwood, or if I'm shopping in Skokie, or if I'm shopping in Evanston, or I'm shopping in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I like to refer to Lincolnwood as Chicago's best kept secret. You've got all the amenities of a suburb. You've got a fine police force. You've got fire. You've got great schools. And yet your proximity is abutting Chicago and access to the northern suburbs. So,
well, I know I'm better off with the bag situation if I shop in Lincolnwood. Because frankly, those paper, I can't stand those paper bags.
As far as I know, there's no restrictions as of present.
No, definitely. So, you know, it's funny. I was looking at the Facebook feed. Mm-hmm. There was some talk about, is there such a thing as a downtown Lincolnwood, or?
Not really, unfortunately. And this is a sore point amongst residents, is what's commonly known as the Purple Hotel site, or the original Hyatt House location.
Right.
And you know some
Yeah,
of the
I always call
history.
it the Hyatt House.
The Hyatt House. It's been sitting vacant for about 12 years. And that is a terrible situation for the village because it occupies a large chunk of downtown Lincolnwood, and it has such potential, but yet, in my personal opinion, it's been mismanaged. You've got developers that I think the plans were unrealistic, and unfortunately, the property as it stands now, besides being blighted and vacant, the property owners are in foreclosure. So it's now stuck in a legal proceeding.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it is. So it's a foreclosure situation. So everything is at a standstill, and the property looks terrible.
Yeah, it does. I was just by there yesterday. I walk and take buses. I actually do not. Even though I've driven all my life, I get a lot of exercise walking, and I prefer it. And yeah, it looks like the West Side, the worst parts of the West Side over there.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And it has so much potential. It really takes a holistic vision and a hands-on focus and drive to really be creative and generate investment dollars with a viable plan to a developer to go in and get the job done and really reinvigorate that area and bring an end to the blight and the potential of what that parcel and what Lincolnwood could be.
How big is that parcel?
It's approximately 10 acres.
Wow. You know, anytime there's anything that big available, or even close to it in Chicago, which is rare, people are jumping on it like there's no tomorrow. I mean, what's wrong with the current, you know, with I can't understand why people wouldn't go for that like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, unfortunately,
the traffic is there's so much traffic there, even without the place.
I look at it as a viable business decision. Someone who's going to look at that parcel has to know what the expectation of the village is, what they can build, whether it be a mixed-use residential, retail, hospitality type of property, a realistic vision so they can perform. And if you don't have a realistic vision of what can go there and incorporate the surrounding areas, I don't think a project would be successful. And that's exactly what happened. A developer entertained a specific project that really was not realistically viable. They wanted a majority of retail. Obviously, retail revenue, sales revenue is great for any municipality, but as you look around and see vacancies, it's very hard to build, unless it's a single user type property, a strict retail type of scenario with office, retail, parking, without the support of other entities to make it viable.
Yeah, no, these days it's like you see storefronts open in places they were never open because people can shop on Amazon, people can shop online. People are easily led by commercials, or misled by commercials, I should say.
Well, I have to tell you, this parcel, if you have a vision, you've got surrounding properties that can be incorporated to make it a destination point. You've got an ice rink. That same property owner has an adjacent parcel, which could also be an additional ice rink. You could have hockey, recreation. For example, I refer to it as pinstripes, bowling, things of that nature that would support and assist whatever's built in that area.
No, that makes sense to me. I'm not the developer type, but it does make sense, and that is prime real estate. There's no question about it. What else needs to be done in the village?
There's some issues with. I have to say that Lincolnwood has one of the finest police forces in the northern suburbs. They do a fine job, but unfortunately, and it's a symptom of society, there's been an uptick in crime. And some of this crime is unprecedented. You know, armed carjacking scenarios, brazen, gangland, quick, kick in a door, rob, leave. And it's starting to spread and become more frequent. And the village police force is doing a fine job working with the resources in hand and working in conjunction with the surrounding municipalities to solve some of these crimes or work on prevention. But what I've been stating and pushing for maybe the last 4 or 5 months is integrate, install some modern technology which would complement the police efforts in mitigating and preventing crime, such as surveillance cameras, discreetly located in maybe a park area. We just created some new beautiful bike, pedestrian walk trails where the vacant Union Pacific Railroad used to be. So now you've got bike, pedestrian trails. People are jogging, bicycling, enjoying things. But unfortunately, there are no safeguards in place. There are no cameras. There's not the ability, if God forbid something happens, that you have police visibility. So a lot of these deficiencies need to be cured. And they are concerns of residents. I'm getting calls all the time. Barry, how do we, there's been someone got robbed on the trail. We don't hear about it. Someone was carjacked. The residents in the neighborhood did not hear about it for 4 days. It's upsetting that the word of some of these crime or incidents aren't disseminated amongst the residents so they can be more aware, more cautious, and they also want some safeguards. So no one's listening to them, and they're fed up, and that's why I've been getting phone calls. I've been a trustee for a year. We need to get more done, and we need leadership. We've got a fine gentleman who's been a mayor for 12 years, but it's too long. There's a disconnect from the average resident. When that happens, there's some dissatisfaction, and there's a need for change. And that's why I'm running.
If people would like to contact your campaign or you,
they can go to info@bassformayor.com and email.
info@bassformayor.com.
Or,
and I take it bassformayor.com.
It's interesting. On Facebook, it is Barry Bass for Mayor of Lincolnwood on Facebook. So at any of those two vehicles, I can be contacted, and I'm pretty good about getting back to people. In fact, some residents were surprised that I actually have returned phone calls and engaged in conversation.
Sounds good to me. Barry Bass, running for mayor of Lincolnwood. I want to wish you all the best luck in the world. You're welcome back closer to the election. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Avi. Appreciate it.